Thank you for tuning into my channel. It's the last day of Vlogmas in July, and today we get to share my favorite quilts that I have made. So if you want to check those out, please stay tuned. So today we're going to be showing you my favorite quilts that I have made. And actually, if I'm honest, that is every single quilt I've ever made. It's my favorite. And so we're going to do a bed turning. I'm in my room and I have my quilts laid out on my bed. And for the most part, they are from oldest to newest. So we'll start and we can see the beginning of my journey and through where we are now. I hope that you can get some inspiration from this, that you can push through even if you feel like you're not doing a good job, because you are. So from this point forward, let's get to the bed turning. So I have some help to show the quilts, but I'm really excited about these. We're going to start with our bed turning. This is the first quilt that kind of started this whole thing off. This is my son's. This is RJ, my oldest. I guess it would be considered his baby quilt. Let's go ahead and show it. And for this quilt, I actually used, this was like upholstery samples, and then I had this giant piece, and the inspiration piece was this fabric here. It just had the number 2000 because my son was born in 2000, and I thought that I was going to hand quilt it and hand piece it, but I ended up not hand piecing all of it. But I did some hand quilting here, and then I actually tried free motion, but I don't know. But yeah, this is the very first one. Let's show the back. On the back, you can see the quilting a little bit better, and like if you look closely, there's some eyelashes and all that stuff. So this was the very first one. I don't look at it very much, and it's really interesting now to look at it because there are a lot of mistakes in it, but it's okay. And my son loves this quilt, and I asked for it back once, and he was like, no, you can't have it. So, very good. Just put that one over to the side. All right, the second one. This was actually, I designed this quilt, let's hold it up, by drawing it out on paper. And I called it the Crayon Quilt because it's like all these different colors of like crayons. And this was my quilt that I made for my Carter, his very first one. Fairly recently I did the repairs on it, and they are featured on a YouTube video. Let's see, there's the back. Okay, next. Alright, and then the next two are jersey quilts. This is my oldest son's quilt, and what we did for those, these are their red jerseys, and then they got to pick out fabric to go in the sashing. And so he picked money fabric. And then the back. The back is actually stars. If you follow my channel, you know I kind of have a thing for star fabric. You'll see that theme come back several times in my quilts. Alright, the next one is my Carter's jersey quilt. These were actually made the same summer because I had just started quilting, and they were already, I think they both already graduated to school ball. So both their quilts got made the same summer, and he likes Georgia Tech. Everybody else in our family is Georgia fans, but he likes what I call the school across town. So that was his quilt, and the back of his actually has basketballs all over it. Okay. And next is my Cameron's quilt. Cameron, I think this was probably your first quilt that I made, and I did chevrons. I went through a big half square triangle thing where all I did was chevrons. And if you go back and research on my channel, you'll see a lot of these chevrons and ombre patterns and all that. And then this was one of my first attempts at putting a name on a quilt. And so, like you can see here, this M, I really needed to use half square triangles in there, but I didn't think to do that at the time. Alright, and the back, oh look, stars, because my kids are kind of my little stars. I love them. They're great. Alright, and in between all of those, there are a ton of quilts that aren't featured here, probably because they were given away. But this one is, after I made a lot for other people, This is one that I made for myself. And you've seen this. This one was featured for Vlogmas in July for our throwback series. This is my bow tie quilt. It's actually called All Dressed Up because it's all bow ties. And so, and the pattern is called Hadley by Denise Schmidt, and it has a very vintage feel to it, and I really like that. So this is the top. I used a different fabric for the back, and it has chevrons, which is really neat. Okay. And next. Alright, you've seen this quilt fairly recently. This is the my log cabin quilt, and this one is actually Cameron's quilt. He claimed it even before I finished it, and so this is his. And one cool thing about this quilt is that it is a quillo. So you can see the pocket right here, and then if we folded it into the pillow, you would see a little design here. So it's really cool that we can, and Cameron, we probably should take a picture of that and put it in the video here so that you can see it as the quillo. But this is his quilt that he loves. I tried to take it, but he took it back when he realized I had taken it. Alright, and the next quilt, you've probably seen this quilt. Technically, this quilt top is the oldest one in the stack because this is one that was made by my grandmother. And on my channel, there's a video of my family quilts, and this top was in that video. And what I did was, since this was a top that she had made, the whole top, I added borders, so you can see the burgundy border all around it. And then I finished it out and quilted it. So I really like this one, and I think that this one I think was partially hand pieced and partially machine pieced. So it was a pretty special thing. And this is now it's a treasure because it was made by two of my family. And then this is the back. I found this fabric for $3 a yard, and it's really interesting. But there's also some denim on the back of here as well. So really cute. Next, I'm sure that a lot of you have seen this quilt. This is my first Heartbeat Bargello quilt. This one was my oldest. This is my RJs Graduation Quilt, and it's designed by me and pieced by me and quilted by me. The pattern for this quilt is available on my Etsy site. I'll leave that in the comments, but in the description, so you can check that out if you haven't gotten the pattern. He wanted it in his school colors, which were green and black, and so that's what he got. And then on the back, surprise, stars. So that's just another one. Okay, Cameron, you look less than impressed. Alright, so the next quilt was inspired by a street art picture that I saw, and so I recreated it with pixels and paper piecing. And so it's called Believe in Magic. And so Cameron will probably have to hold it all the way out like that. And so hopefully you can see, can you pull it tighter at the top, that it spells magic. And there's a series about this quilt on my channel where I show you from very beginning to very end to see this whole thing. And for the back, I actually pieced the back. I had some purple fabric. You gonna hold it up? Some purple fabric, and so it's a nice big piece backing. Okay. Next, this is one of my absolute favorites. This is my Pieces of My Heart quilt. This is a crumb quilt that I made here. And so the center heart, it's all made out of crumb blocks. And then I used half square triangles to create the curves and the angles for the heart and for this outer portion. It's very neat. I love this quilt. It was so much fun to make. And then let's look at the back. And you can see the, hold up so you can see the fabric. You can see the fabric on the back, very cool. And I added a sleeve to this one because in my mind this is going to be entered in something. And so it needs to be displayed. So it does have a sleeve for whenever that time comes. Go. Okay, and then the next one is my purple quilt. This is the second Heartbeat Bargello, and so if you were on that quilt along with me, there is a Heartbeat Bargello quilt along playlist on my channel where I made this quilt. Again, that pattern is on my Etsy site, and it looks very different because of the way the fabrics were chosen. For RJs, I used only 7 fabrics or 8 fabrics. For this one, I used 14 fabrics, and so the look is a little different. But it's very nice. I love the way that it's pieced and quilted. I feel like I did a good job. And here's the back. And hopefully you can see that quilting along the back a little bit better. And now we're on the last one here. If you've been following my channel over the summer, you have seen this already. This is the Volcano Quilt. This is my Carter's Graduation Quilt. And it was made using the Tumbling Blocks pattern, the rhombus template from Missouri Star Quilt Company. And it is very cool. I like it. He sleeps with it every night, so that lets me know that he likes it and appreciates it. And that's the end. Oh wait, the back. And look at the back! It's more stars. So, very cool. I'm so excited that I got to share in the quilt along with you, in the bed turning with you. I'm really excited to have completed Vlogmas in July. It has been an amazing, amazing journey, and I'm glad that you could be here with us. If you have any questions about what you've seen in the video, please leave them in the comments below. If you have a favorite quilt that I've made, I'd love for you to comment. Or if maybe you're inspired by something that you see that you want to try. If I can help, I definitely will. Please thumbs up this video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already. Again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for following along with Vlogmas in July. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Bye!